โอ้ สบายสบายนะ Good morning. I'm here at the Khlong Saen Saep, and today is exactly 6 months ago that I made my first video here where I was speaking, and I thought it would be a nice idea to just redo this video, but then as a full-grown global travel mate. I remember when I made the first video here, I had 480 subscribers, and my goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I could do a live stream. And yeah, I just checked that video a couple of days ago, and I thought it would be a nice idea to give an update, see how we're doing now, just have a little chat with everybody who is following me. Sawadee krap. Krap. See, a lot have changed. I have a different camera. I think in the meanwhile, yeah, in this 6 months period, I almost uploaded a video a day. So that's roughly about 200 videos. And I'm on my way to the Bangkapi Mall. You know, I love to film these klongs here, and I like these boats. And the end station of this boat is the Bangkapi Mall. So I bought a new bike. My old bike was a Trek, and I actually wanted to buy a Trek, but the problem was that there was a couple of Trek dealers here, and they only had the extra small frames, which means that yeah, if you buy a bike like that, you bike in a very uncomfortable position, and it's gonna give you back pains. So then I went to the Giant dealer, and it was the same problem. Giant only had the small frames, the XS. So I decided to go to Decathlon and buy myself a rock rider, that's how you call it. It's yeah, probably one of the cheapest options you can get in Bangkok. I paid about 11,000 baht for this bicycle, and till now I'm super happy. I bought it from Kun Wich, the musician that you might remember from the video I made the other day about the life of the global travel mate. I also just liked that I could buy the bike with him, you know. Yeah, so today I'm having a meeting at the Bangkapi Mall. Looking forward to that with a Dutchman. Yeah, in this point I always have to be careful a little bit, so I have to drive slower, make sure I don't end up in the canal. And I have a new bicycle, so I need to get used, because this one is a little bit bigger than the one that I had. So I also noticed in the turns that it takes a bit more time to make the turn. So these are kind of sluices, and basically what they are used for is to keep up the water level in the canals. Bangkok is on the Chao Phraya River, and the Chao Phraya River is very close to the sea. So sometimes during raining season, all the water is flowing in this direction, and then it can flood a little bit. So with my old bike, I would definitely bike down here, but I just need to find out how it works. Oh, there's a little cat over there sleeping. Yeah, these are all plots of land. It looks like it's used now for cultivation, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be some construction or building at some point. Yeah, this bike is also a bit heavier than the other one, but I really enjoy it. Here we go. Yeah, it's just amazing in this 6 months. So the channel went from 480 subscribers to well over 16,000 now. It's a big difference. Also, Bangkok changed a lot. So I'm gonna cross over here. So because of this COVID situation, you notice that a lot of people are having economic hardships. And before, you never saw you didn't see many people living on the street, but that really changed, and you saw these guys down there. That's that's one of the things that really changed here. We're in the middle of a, let's call it a second lockdown. It's not really a lockdown. I mean, restaurants, for example, can still open, but are not allowed to sell alcohol. And actually, it's Tuesday now. And yesterday, there was a new proposal for the government. And from Saturday onwards, it's going to be allowed to sell alcohol again. So that means that bars and entertainment venues and everything can go open. And that's going to make a big difference also for the confidence of the people. Because with the first lockdown, basically the local market took over. So there was a lot of locals, Thais and expats that live in Thailand that were traveling and still were visiting the bars and the restaurants. But with the second lockdown that happened in the middle of or at the end of December, beginning of January, it really shut down everything. And also people don't have confidence anymore, and people got afraid here for the COVID. So nobody was going out. So I could really see that a lot of businesses got shut down, and let's see who's gonna go open, who's gonna open up again. I think on Saturday I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm gonna invite some people. I wanted to celebrate the 15,000 subscribers, but that was never able. That could never happen because of the alcohol ban. I mean, it's not fun to have a party without alcohol. But I think this weekend I'm gonna invite some people. I do not know the venue yet, but probably gonna make a nice party to celebrate my 16,000 then, I guess. No, and also to give an update. I want to show everybody what's going on. Yeah, I'm happy with this new bike. doing his job pretty good. It's called a rock rider, but luckily I don't have to go over the rocks. Yeah, along this Khlong you have a lot of temples. It's basically because this is the old, you know, these are the old ways of transport in Bangkok. So this used to be the kind of highway, let's say like that. Now of course you have plenty of roads and cars, but in the old times this was the main form, and then of course across the main roads you built your temples and all your things. So that's why also you have quite big communities around here. We're driving along the Ramkhamhaeng road, which connects with the Ramkhamhaeng University, and in the future it will have the orange MRT line. Yeah, this area there's a lot of students and a lot of locals. Many of the people that live in this area, they use the Khlong boat to get to work. From here you have an easy connection with the Pratunam area, where you have the Central World Mall and everything, and it has an easy connection with Asok, where you have many offices. There is a fellow cyclist on a foldable bike. Cap. Yeah, I also heard something about they might give up the whole ASQ thing at some point, which is the quarantine. So let's hope that's gonna happen, because I do believe until they lift the quarantine there's not gonna be any tourists here, and this country definitely needs some kind of tourism. Yeah, it's the last couple of days. You know, you have the dry season and the wet season, and I think 12, 13, 14 of April is gonna be the Songkran, and Songkran is always the start of the raining season. But I noticed always at the end of February, beginning of March, that's when the temperatures, no, not the temperatures, but that's when the weather is gonna change. And it's gonna get more humid, it's gonna get hotter. So I remember in the end of October I was telling you, oh, the good season is starting now. So now I'm starting to talk about the bad season that's coming up. And the bad season is not so much about the rain, but it's more about the humidity. And now it's still quite comfortable, but in a couple of months it's gonna be super hot, and whatever you do you're gonna sweat your ass off. Mind my English, sorry. Yep. You have to cross these little bridges. Yeah, big difference between the old video that I made 6 months ago and now is that I'm using a different camera now, which can shoot in 4K. And you know, before you get the other camera you don't see the difference, but then later on when you see the change, it makes a huge difference. Oh, สบายสบายนะ Oh. Yeah, I mentioned it before already. Many of these communities here along the Khlong, this is mainly Muslim, so you always have the mosques here, and a little bit further you will see, yeah, that's what I really like, where the mosques and the temples are all next to each other. I still haven't bought the microphone, which I should do, but I'm just a little bit lazy. Well, I'm not lazy, I'm making a lot of videos, but I find it boring to go to the shopping mall and get the microphone, but I need to get it. And especially now when I notice the wind is blowing here. See, there's another cleaning crew. They always use a lot of time for the upkeep of the canals here. I have a feeling that the canals are a lot cleaner now than before. And these guys are fishing out all the stuff. Doing a great job. Look at the dead fish in here. And at all the stations you always see the little food stalls. Yeah, so many people are always asking, like, what, especially during the live streams, what is my opinion about tourism and how is it gonna be? And obviously nobody really knows what's gonna happen. But I think if there is some way that Thailand can stop the quarantine, I think that's gonna make all the difference. But of course you can only do that when the country is safe. And again, we had a second lockdown now, but in total, I think 83 or 84 people died in Thailand, which is, of course, it's nothing compared to the rest of the world. So the government's been keeping everybody safe here. And I think, my personal opinion, that they did a good job. But of course, you have to think about the economic situation. So it's a balance. It seems to be also that for every 1,000 cases, you know, they don't test too many people here, but for every 1,000 cases there seems to be a lot less death than in other countries. And there's been different theories, and I saw some people on Facebook talking about it, and somebody was making, in my opinion, a little bit of sense, where the belief was that, okay, because there's a lot of street food here, and that's not that sanitized as in the West, which means that we are exposed more to bacteria here. And I can attest to that. I mean, I remember the first time I came to Thailand, that in the first 6 months, like almost every month, I had you could almost say like a food poisoning. Almost every month I was eating something, and then I got a severe case of diarrhea for a couple of days. And then after 6 months that basically stopped. And I just think that my system got used to it a lot more. And now I probably have a stronger stomach, let's say it simple in that way. And then I was thinking, like, yeah, if you get a virus like this corona, and your body is used to more viruses than the bodies of the people in the West, you know, like in the US and Europe and Australia, then it might actually make sense that even if you get sick, you're likely to be asymptomatic, or you just have a, you know, like 1 hour of diarrhea and that's it, or whatever, you know. So yeah, it might be possible that the people in Asia are more resistant to this virus. Anyway, so we're getting now to these temples that I was talking about. Okay, ขอบคุณมากครับ And as always, I keep repeating myself. I just love how friendly the Thai people are always. Nobody's in a hurry, nobody. They call it sabai sabai, take it easy. So here you have the mosque, and then next to it you have the temple, the Thai Buddhist temple. These little boats are interesting. So this is an alternative way to cross the Khlong here. The Khlong boats that come through here always have to be careful. I actually never tried it, but there seems to be like a button here that you can press. There's a button on the other side, I see, and then the boat can come over, and then you can take it. I should actually try it, right? Sorry, Cap. Yeah, I love this ride here. I already said it in the first time that I made a video here. I used to go here every weekend, but since I've been making videos, I've been crossing throughout the whole town. So my original bike ride basically disappeared. So you guys stimulated me to explore Bangkok more, which is really cool. So I'm actually happy for that. Yeah, and all these plots, of course, there's going to be some construction at some point. And there, just behind here, like a few hundred meters, is the Ramkhamhaeng road, where it's going to be the orange MRT line. So this is all going to be very good land for development and construction. Okay. So I'm getting to my destination, The Bangkapi Mall is up ahead. I think I'm gonna make a film there as well. But first I'm going to go to the Starbucks. Even though I do not drink coffee, I will probably go for a smoothie or something. Yeah, there's one more of these little bridges that I have to cross, and then I'm at my destination. I actually made it nice on time. Supposed to meet in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm feeling comfortable now to go without hands. That's good. You know, you need to always find a balance in a new bicycle. And I didn't have it before I came to this path, but now I feel molto confortable. Okay. Yeah, so what I said, that's the Bangkapi Mall. So I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, feel free to subscribe. And you can press the like button if you want and leave me a comment. I always enjoy that. And see you guys in my next video.